Question 1. What is the primary characteristic that distinguishes a project from ongoing operations? A. It is performed by a team. B. It has a defined budget. C. It is temporary and creates a unique product, service, or result. D. It follows a structured methodology. Answer: C. It is temporary and creates a unique product, service, or result. The most defining characteristic of a project is its temporary nature, meaning it has a definite beginning and end, and its purpose is to create a unique output, which can be a product, service, or result. This uniqueness sets projects apart from ongoing operations, which are continuous and produce repetitive outputs. For instance, building a new house is a project because it's temporary and the house is unique, while cleaning the house weekly is an ongoing operation. Remember, projects are about bringing something new into existence, even if it's just a new way of doing things. Question 2. Which document formally authorizes the existence of a project and gives the project manager the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities? A. Project Management Plan. B. Business Case. C. Project Charter. D. Scope Statement. Answer: C. Project Charter. The project charter is the foundational document that formally launches a project and empowers the project manager with the necessary authority to begin work and utilize organizational resources. It's often issued by the project initiator or sponsor and provides a high-level understanding of the project's purpose, objectives, and overall scope. For example, a sponsor might sign a project charter to officially start a new software development project, giving the project manager the go-ahead. This document is crucial because without it, a project manager lacks formal recognition and authority. Question 3. In Agile methodologies, what is the primary purpose of a daily Scrum meeting? A. To report progress to stakeholders. B. To discuss problems and find solutions for the entire team. C. To synchronize activities and plan for the next 24 hours. D. To review the completed work of the previous day. Answer: C. To synchronize activities and plan for the next 24 hours. The daily Scrum, often called a stand-up, is a brief, time-boxed meeting in Agile frameworks like Scrum, primarily designed for team members to synchronize their activities and create a plan for the next 24 hours. Each team member quickly shares what they did yesterday that helped meet the sprint goal, what they plan to do today, and any impediments blocking their progress. This brief daily interaction fosters transparency and helps the team quickly identify and address potential issues, ensuring everyone is aligned. Think of it as a quick huddle to keep the team moving efficiently toward their sprint goal. Question 4. What is the main purpose of a work breakdown structure, WBS? A. To identify project risks. B. To break down the project scope into smaller, more manageable components. C. To determine the critical path of the project schedule. D. To assign resources to project activities. Answer: B. To break down the project scope into smaller, more manageable components. The work breakdown structure, WBS, is a hierarchical decomposition of the total scope of work to be carried out by the project team to accomplish project objectives and create the required deliverables. Its primary purpose is to organize and define the total scope of the project, making it easier to manage, estimate, and control. For example, building a house might be broken down into foundation, framing, roofing, and interior work, then further into smaller tasks. This systematic breakdown ensures that all necessary work is identified and none is overlooked. Question 5. Which of the following is an example of an enterprise environmental factor, EEF? A. Organizational process assets, OPAs, such as templates. B. An organization's existing culture and infrastructure. C. The project management plan. D. Lessons learned documentation. Answer: B. An organization's existing culture and infrastructure. Enterprise environmental factors, EFs, are conditions, not under the direct control of the project team, that influence, constrain, or direct the project. These can be internal to the organization, like its culture, structure, and infrastructure, or external, such as government regulations or market conditions. For example, if your company has a very hierarchical culture, that's an EEF that will influence how you manage your project. Recognizing EEFs helps project managers understand the context in which their project operates and anticipate potential challenges or opportunities. Question 6. What is the primary role of a project manager? A. To perform all the technical work of the project. B. To ensure that project objectives are met while balancing competing demands. C. To only manage project costs and schedules. D. To create all project deliverables personally. Answer: B. To ensure that project objectives are met while balancing competing demands. The primary role of a project manager is to lead the project team to achieve project objectives, which often involves balancing competing demands among scope, schedule, budget, quality, resources, and risks. They are responsible for planning, executing, and closing the project effectively, acting as a central point of communication and decision-making. For instance, if a project is behind schedule, the project manager might need to decide whether to add resources, adjust the scope, or inform stakeholders of a new delivery date. Their leadership is crucial for navigating complexity and ensuring success. Question 7. What does scope creep refer to in project management? A. The process of gradually defining the project scope. B. The uncontrolled expansion of project scope without adjustments to time, cost, and resources. C. The formal process of adding new features to a project. D. The slow but steady progress of a project towards completion. Answer: B. The uncontrolled expansion of project scope without adjustments to time, cost, and resources. Scope creep is a common issue where the project scope expands subtly and incrementally without proper change control, often resulting in additional work without corresponding adjustments to the project's budget, schedule, or resources. This uncontrolled expansion can severely impact a project's ability to meet its objectives, leading to cost overruns and delays. For example, if a client keeps asking for small tweaks to a website design without formal requests, that's scope creep. Always ensure changes are formally requested, approved, and accounted for to prevent this. Question 8. In which project management process group is the project charter developed? A. Planning. B. Initiating. C. Executing. D. Closing. Answer: B. Initiating. The project charter, which formally authorizes the project and names the project manager, is developed during the initiating process group. This group focuses on defining a new project or a new phase of an existing project by obtaining authorization to start. It sets the stage for the entire project, ensuring that the project aligns with organizational objectives before detailed planning begins. Think of initiating as the green light phase, where the initial high-level authorization takes place. Question 9. Which Agile principle emphasizes delivering working software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with a preference to the shorter timescale? A. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. B. Responding to change over following a plan. C. Delivering working software frequently. D. Individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Answer: C. Delivering working software frequently. One of the core principles of the Agile Manifesto emphasizes delivering working software frequently, typically in short iterations or sprints. This approach allows stakeholders to provide early and regular feedback, enabling the project team to adapt and refine the product based on real-world usage and changing requirements. For example, instead of waiting a year to deliver a full product, an Agile team might deliver small, functional increments every 2 weeks. This frequent delivery ensures continuous value creation and faster realization of benefits. Question 10. What is the primary purpose of a lessons learned document? A. To assign blame for project failures. B. To document all project risks. C. To capture knowledge gained throughout a project for future projects. D. To summarize the project's financial performance. Answer: C. To capture knowledge gained throughout a project for future projects. A lessons learned document, or register, is a crucial output in project management, typically finalized during the closing process. Its main purpose is to capture and document knowledge gained during a project regarding what went well, what could have gone better, and recommendations for future projects. This information becomes an organizational process asset, OPA, helping future project teams avoid past mistakes and replicate successful strategies. Sharing these insights ensures continuous improvement across the organization's project portfolio. Question 11. Which process involves identifying all people or organizations impacted by the project and documenting relevant information regarding their interests, involvement, and influence? A. Plan stakeholder engagement. B. Manage stakeholder engagement. C. Identify stakeholders. D. Monitor stakeholder engagement. Answer: C. Identify stakeholders. The Identify Stakeholders process is the initial step in stakeholder management, where all individuals, groups, or organizations that could be affected by the project, either positively or negatively, are identified. This process involves analyzing their interests, influence, and potential impact on the project's success. For instance, identifying the local community, government regulators, and suppliers as key stakeholders for a new construction project is crucial for early engagement. Effectively identifying stakeholders early on is fundamental to successful project engagement and communication. Question 12. What is a key characteristic of a predictive, waterfall, project life cycle? A. Requirements are continuously refined throughout the project. B. Work is performed in short, time-boxed iterations. C. The project scope is defined early and changes are tightly controlled. D. High levels of uncertainty are easily accommodated. Answer: C. The project scope is defined early and changes are tightly controlled. A predictive, or waterfall, project life cycle is characterized by a sequential approach where project phases are completed in a linear order, with one phase generally needing to be finished before the next can begin. A key feature is that the project scope is defined as early as possible in the project, and any subsequent changes are managed through a rigorous change control process. This approach is best suited for projects with well-understood requirements and a stable environment. Think of it like building a house with fixed blueprints before construction starts. Question 13. Which of the following is typically a temporary group established to review and approve or reject changes to project baselines? A. Project Management Office, PMO. B. Project Team. C. Steering Committee. D. Change Control Board, CCB. Answer: D. Change Control Board, CCB. A Change Control Board, CCB, is a formally constituted group responsible for reviewing, evaluating, approving, delaying, or rejecting changes to the project, and for recording and communicating such decisions. The CCB is crucial for maintaining project control and ensuring that changes do not negatively impact the project's baselines, scope, schedule, cost. For example, if a client wants a major new feature, the CCB would review the impact before approving the change. Implementing a CCB helps prevent uncontrolled scope creep and ensures proper management of project changes. Question 14. What is a deliverable in the context of project management? A. Any tangible or intangible outcome, product, or result created by a project. B. A task that must be completed within a project. C. The final report submitted at project closure. D. A risk that has materialized during the project. Answer: A. Any tangible or intangible outcome, product, or result created by a project. A deliverable is any unique and verifiable product, result, or capability to perform a service that is produced to complete a process, phase, or project. Deliverables can be tangible, like a built bridge or a software application, or intangible, like a developed process or a research finding. These are the specific outputs that the project is undertaken to create and are often subject to stakeholder approval. Always remember, the project's purpose is ultimately to produce these specific, desired deliverables. Question 15. What is the main purpose of validating scope during a project? A. To ensure all project work is completed. B. To formalize acceptance of the completed project deliverables by the customer or sponsor. C. To create the work breakdown structure. D. To prevent scope creep. Answer: B. To formalize acceptance of the completed project deliverables by the customer or sponsor. Validating scope is the process of formalizing acceptance of the completed project deliverables. This involves reviewing the deliverables with relevant stakeholders, typically the customer or sponsor, to ensure they meet requirements and are formally accepted. This process is crucial because it confirms that the work performed aligns with what was intended and secures official sign-off, moving the project closer to completion. Think of it as the client inspecting and approving the final product before it's considered done. Question 16. What is generally considered a good practice for managing project risks? A. Ignoring minor risks to save time. B. Identifying risks only at the beginning of the project. C. Proactively identifying, analyzing, and planning responses for risks throughout the project lifecycle. D. Transferring all risks to external parties. Answer: C. Proactively identifying, analyzing, and planning responses for risks throughout the project lifecycle. Effective risk management involves a continuous, proactive process of identifying potential risks, analyzing their likelihood and impact, planning appropriate responses, and monitoring them throughout the entire project lifecycle. This proactive approach helps project managers anticipate problems and develop strategies to mitigate negative impacts or capitalize on opportunities, rather than reacting to issues as they occur. For example, identifying the risk of a critical supplier delay and having a backup supplier ready is a proactive measure. Always stay vigilant about potential risks, as they can emerge at any time. Question 17. Which of the following is a common tool or technique used for collecting requirements? A. Critical path method, CPM. B. SWOT analysis. C. Brainstorming. D. Cost-benefit analysis. Answer: C. Brainstorming. Brainstorming is a commonly used tool and technique for collecting requirements, especially early in a project, where a group generates ideas and solutions without criticism or judgment. It encourages creative thinking and can help uncover requirements that might not be immediately obvious. For example, a project team might brainstorm with stakeholders to gather diverse ideas for features in a new mobile app. This collaborative technique helps ensure a comprehensive understanding of stakeholder needs. Question 18. What is the purpose of the project management plan? A. To serve as a high-level authorization for the project. B. To provide guidance on how the project will be executed, monitored, controlled, and closed. C. To document all risks identified for the project. D. To detail the financial performance of the project. Answer: B. To provide guidance on how the project will be executed, monitored, controlled, and closed. The project management plan is a comprehensive document that defines how the project will be executed, monitored, controlled, and closed. It integrates and consolidates all subsidiary management plans, e.g., scope, schedule, cost, quality, risk, and baselines, serving as the definitive blueprint for the entire project. For example, it would outline how changes will be managed, how quality will be ensured, and how resources will be acquired. This central plan ensures that everyone involved understands the project's direction and how it will be managed. Question 19. In Agile, who is primarily responsible for maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the development team? A. Scrum Master. B. Project Manager. C. Product Owner. D. Development Team Member. Answer: C. Product Owner. In Agile frameworks like Scrum, the product owner is the individual primarily responsible for maximizing the value of the product and the work of the development team. This role involves clearly articulating product backlog items, ordering them to best achieve goals and missions, and ensuring the backlog is visible, transparent, and understood. For instance, the product owner decides which features are most important for the next release based on market needs and business value. They act as the voice of the customer, guiding the team's efforts towards delivering the highest value. Question 20. Which of the following is an example of an organizational process asset, OPA? A. Government regulations. B. A company's market conditions. C. Templates for project plans from previous projects. D. An organization's internal culture. Answer: C. Templates for project plans from previous projects. Organizational process assets, OPAs, are plans, processes, policies, procedures, and knowledge bases specific to and used by the performing organization. These assets can include templates, standardized processes, historical information like lessons learned, and corporate policies. For example, using a standard risk register template from a previous project is leveraging an OPA. OPAs are valuable resources that can help improve efficiency and consistency across projects by providing reusable knowledge and tools. Question 21. When managing a project, what does resource leveling aim to achieve? A. To reduce the total number of resources needed for the project. B. To ensure that all team members have an equal workload. C. To optimize the allocation of resources to keep resource usage at a constant level, potentially extending the schedule. D. To shorten the project schedule by adding more resources. Answer: C. To optimize the allocation of resources to keep resource usage at a constant level, potentially extending the schedule. Resource leveling is a technique used to optimize the allocation of resources by adjusting the start and finish dates of activities based on resource availability and demand. The primary goal is to maintain a relatively constant level of resource usage, avoiding peaks and valleys in resource demand, which can sometimes extend the project schedule. For instance, if a specific engineer is overbooked, resource leveling might shift some tasks to smooth out their workload, even if it delays a non-critical path activity. It helps to prevent resource overallocation and underutilization. Question 22. What is the main purpose of conducting a kickoff meeting for a project? A. To celebrate the completion of the project. B. To formally authorize the project and appoint the project manager. C. To bring stakeholders together at the start of the project to ensure common understanding and commitment. D. To review the final project deliverables with the client. Answer: C. To bring stakeholders together at the start of the project to ensure common understanding and commitment. The kickoff meeting is a crucial formal meeting at the beginning of a project, or a new phase, that brings together key stakeholders, including the project team, customer, and functional managers. Its main purpose is to establish a common understanding of the project objectives, scope, roles, and responsibilities, and to gain commitment from all involved parties. For example, for a new software project, the kickoff meeting ensures everyone understands the project's goals and their part in achieving them. This meeting sets the tone and fosters team unity from the outset. Question 23. What is the fundamental concept behind tailoring in PMBOK 7th edition? A. Always following a single, universal project management methodology. B. Customizing the project management approach for a specific project based on its unique characteristics. C. Eliminating non-essential project management processes. D. Focusing only on agile methodologies for all projects. Answer: B. customizing the project management approach for a specific project based on its unique characteristics. Tailoring, as emphasized in PMBOK's 7th edition, is the process of selecting the appropriate project management approach, processes, and tools for a specific project based on its unique context, complexity, and stakeholder needs. It recognizes that no two projects are exactly alike, and a one-size-fits-all approach is not effective. For example, a small, simple project might require less formal documentation than a large, complex one with many regulations. Tailoring ensures that the project team applies the right level of rigor and the most suitable methods to achieve project success. Question 24. Which of the following best describes the concept of iteration in an agile context? A. A single, long phase in a project life cycle. B. A fixed time period, usually short, during which a team produces a working increment of the product. C. The process of repeating a task until it is perfect. D. A review meeting held at the end of a project. Answer: B. A fixed time period, usually short, during which a team produces a working increment of the product. In agile methodologies, an iteration, often called a sprint in Scrum, refers to a fixed, short time period, typically 1 to 4 weeks, during which a cross-functional team works to produce a shippable or usable increment of the product. This cyclical approach allows for frequent feedback, continuous improvement, and adaptation to changing requirements. For example, a team might have a 2-week iteration to develop a specific set of features for an application. Iterations are core to Agile's iterative and incremental delivery model. Question 25. What is the primary benefit of good communication management in a project? A. To reduce project costs. B. To ensure all project risks are eliminated. C. To ensure timely and appropriate generation, collection, distribution, storage, retrieval, and ultimate disposition of project information. D. To speed up project completion by skipping meetings. Answer: C. To ensure timely and appropriate generation, collection, distribution, storage, retrieval, and ultimate disposition of project information. Effective communication management is vital for project success because it ensures that all project information is generated, collected, distributed, stored, retrieved, and disposed of in a timely and appropriate manner. This means the right information gets to the right people at the right time, fostering understanding, alignment, and collaboration among stakeholders. For instance, clearly communicating project status updates to stakeholders prevents misunderstandings and manages expectations. Strong communication is the glue that holds a project together and prevents many common problems.